But first, some weeks ago, an Australian fighting with the Ukrainian Foreign Legion was captured by the Russians. Footage then emerged of Oscar Jenkins, originally from Melbourne, being brutally interrogated. Well, now there are credible reports that the former schoolteacher has been executed. Now, I know that with everything else that's happening in the world, Ukraine is not front of mind as it once was. But never forget that not only has Putin's army invaded a neighbour that was doing Russia no harm, not only have Putin's missiles rained down indiscriminately on Ukrainian civilians, killing thousands, but Putin's troops have committed war crimes on a grand scale, killing dozens and dozens of civilians in places like Bucha, and routinely, it seems, torturing, maiming, even executing prisoners of war. For once, the Albanese government has responded strongly to a gross attack on an Australian, so unlike its supine response when a Chinese warship deliberately injured Australian Navy divers.
We call upon Russia to immediately confirm Oscar Jenkins' status. If there has been any harm caused to Oscar Jenkins, that is absolutely reprehensible, and the Australian government will take the strongest action possible.
Now, frankly, that's the least we should do. The only language a dictator understands is strength, yet all too often the Albanese government seems ambivalent between our allies and our strategic competitors, as when the Prime Minister recently backed the Chinese dictator against the incoming American president on tariffs. Now, I'm all for free trade where there's a level playing field, but between the West and China, that doesn't exist. And all we've ended up doing is export our jobs and manufacturing sovereignty to a communist dictatorship. Now, the best response to this latest reported outrage in Ukraine would be to clean out the sheds where we're storing hundreds of surplus Bushmaster and Hawkeye armoured vehicles, as well as our surplus Abrams tanks that we could then immediately dispatch to Ukraine, as well as the soon-to-be replaced Tiger helicopters. No foreign government should be able to kill an Australian with impunity, let alone one who is a prisoner of war. But Putin needs to feel our strength, not just diplomatic outrage, if this response to a yet unconfirmed but likely execution is confirmed.